We just made a video going over some awesome PS4 game deals a couple days ago, but there are more great deals available, and we had to make another video going over some of the best PS4 game deals available right now. A lot of these are very new releases and very good deals. Historic lows for some of these games, especially if you're a Best Buy Gamers Club Unlocked member. So without further ado, let's get right into this. Persona 5 for $30 or $24 Gamers Club Unlocked. Persona 5 to many was the best PlayStation 4 game of 2017, and when you look at the year that the PlayStation 4 had in 2017, that says a lot. But all of the critical acclaim that Persona 5 received is well warranted. You can make a legitimate claim that this is the best Japanese RPG of all time, one of the best RPGs of all time without a doubt. Yes, to your common gamer that's a big fan of Western titles, it might look a little bit zany at first, but trust me, once you play Persona 5, it grabs your attention very quickly, from the slick aesthetical presentation style that's right away in the main menu when you start the game, the great in-game visuals, voice acting, world design. Presentation-wise, this is just one of the most unique games you're gonna find, and then on the gameplay side of things, it's a great dungeon-crawling JRPG as well. And then, as the case with all of the Persona titles, you also have that high school life simulator aspect of the game, and while that might be off-putting at first, it is such a great complement to the overall game of Persona 5, and it really keeps the overall experience fresh. At just $30 at Best Buy, or only $24 for Gamers Club Unlocked members, this is a steal. Definitely check it out.
We can do this if we all work together. I'd rather that than be bad at every subject.
It's not just Japan anymore. The whole world's waiting to see.
Yakuza 0 for $30, $24 Gamers Club Unlocked. I've mentioned it before, but Yakuza is one of those franchises that has not gotten its due, at least over here in the States. It's been a big fixture over in Japan, but over here in the States, yes, we've seen Yakuza games before, but they really haven't resonated to an extreme degree with gamers, but that looks to be changing as Sega is pushing the series more and more over here in the West. That began this year with the release of Yakuza 0, a prequel to the franchise. However, this is probably the best Yakuza game out of them all. It really refined on a lot of the elements, and it acted as a great entry point for newcomers to the franchise, and it did retain its hefty retail price for a while, but now that it's down to just $30 or $24 for Gamers Club Unlocked members at Best Buy, now's the time you should really check out Yakuza 0, and we'll be mentioning Yakuza a little bit later on in this list as well. Dishonored 2 for $10. Dishonored was one of the fantastic new IPs of last generation, developed by Arcane Studios. They did a great job with the game, and it was a very interesting stealth action-adventure game that put a lot of power into the player's hand. You can play it with more of a stealth emphasis, or you could go in, run, gun, and slice your way through. Both of those gameplay styles are enjoyable. And then with Dishonored 2, they just built upon the foundation they created with Dishonored. It's a better game, and there were a lot of improvements over the first game. It's just a more versatile experience, and now you've got two playable characters as well, with Emily Caldwin as well as Corvo Atano, the main character of the last game, and that adds some replay value to Dishonored 2 as well. If you've yet to check out Dishonored 2, you can find it for $10 at your local Redbox. Nioh for $24. Nioh was another one of the great PlayStation 4 titles in 2017. It was developed by Team Ninja, and it was a title that's been in development for a very long time, going back into 2004. It did see some development turmoil, but they passed through that, and it was finally released early in 2017, and it's a great game. The similarities can obviously be drawn to the Souls games, but there's a lot more to it than that. Got great combat, it's obviously a challenging game, but the setting is the real standout of Nioh. It's got a great setting with the use of Japanese folklore and aesthetics, and atmospherically that makes Nioh a great game. Nioh is another one of those titles that has really retained its value, but now for $24 at Newegg with a promo code, which will be in the description box, it is a great pickup. Gravity Rush 2 for $20. Oh, look at that, another one of the PlayStation 4's best games of 2017. Gravity Rush is one of those franchises that also hasn't blown up as much as it deserves to. The first Gravity Rush title was great, but it was a PlayStation Vita exclusive title originally. It did see a remastered version on the PlayStation 4, and then back in January of 2017, we saw Gravity Rush 2 developed ground up for the PlayStation 4, so obviously it's gonna see a lot of improvements over the first game. You've got much better visuals, a far larger world with a lot more content. You're talking twice to 3 times the amount of content and size in the world, and then what you still got is the great and unique gameplay, the awesome visuals, and a solid story to boot. If you've yet to check out Gravity Rush, maybe you should check out Gravity Rush Remastered first, but Gravity Rush 2 is a fantastic game, and for just $20 on PSN, you should really check it out. It's criminal how underrated this game is. XCOM 2 for $20. XCOM is definitely a game that's more associated with PC, especially with the keyboard and mouse controls. However, we did see XCOM Enemy Unknown on the PlayStation 3, and XCOM 2, while initially it was a PC exclusive, it did find its way over to the PlayStation 4. Now, PC is the ideal place to play XCOM 2, but it makes a solid transition over to the PlayStation 4 as well. And if you played XCOM Enemy Unknown on the PS3, XCOM 2 is a lot more of the same, but that's not a bad thing considering how good Enemy Unknown was. Just bear in mind that this is a game that requires a little bit of patience. It is a little difficult, and maybe that'll turn off some of you that are more used to the consoleized style experience, but it is a great game with a lot of investment to be had. And at $20, it's a great price to pick it up for. You can find it for that price over at GameStop. Assassin's Creed Origins for $40, $32 for Gamers Club Unlocked members. So this is a little bit more expensive than the cheapest Assassin's Creed Origins has ever been, but it hit the low of $30 over Black Friday. Black Friday is long gone, so now at this price, it's still a solid pickup, and Assassin's Creed Origins is a terrific game. Assassin's Creed as a whole has been one of the most iconic video game franchises of the last decade, but with later releases such as Assassin's Creed Unity, and even Assassin's Creed Syndicate, many gamers started seeing the franchise is getting a little bit stale. So Ubisoft decided to take 2016 off, and they came back in 2017 with AC Origins, and it was completely a step in the right direction. The gameplay is a lot better, content-wise it's so much better, and the side content is actually pretty engaging and you want to do all of that. I did find the story a bit weaker than past Assassin's Creed titles, but overall the positives definitely outweigh the negatives in Assassin's Creed Origins, and you could make a legitimate claim that this is the best AC game of all time. $40 is a great price, and it's only $32 for Gamers Club Unlocked members over at Best Buy.
Into forts, into camps that you are really, under level. If you're detected, you'll be dead, but nothing is preventing you from trying it and using the level design.
We've worked very hard on the level design to make sure that there's constant opportunities to be able to stay in a stalking zone, to go up high. You know, being a predator in AC, that means you go up high.
Yakuza Kiwami SteelBook Edition for $20, $16 for Gamers Club Unlocked members. So if you really enjoyed Yakuza 0, back in August of 2017, Sega also put out Yakuza Kiwami on the PlayStation 4, which was a remake of the very first Yakuza title. Now this wasn't a full-on remake from the ground up. You can tell that this was still a PlayStation 2 title, but it's still a very enjoyable game, and it's not like Sega released this game at a full $60 price point, so it was fine at what it was. But you'll still find a solid gameplay and the mature story that Yakuza is known for, and by the way, a Yakuza Kiwami 2 is now in development, and we are going to see Yakuza 6 come over to the States in March. For now, make sure to check out Yakuza Kiwami, $20 at Best Buy, $16 for Gamers Club Unlocked members. Horizon Zero Dawn the Complete Edition for $42. So this definitely is still kind of expensive for Horizon Zero Dawn, but the Complete Edition just released, and if you don't know what the Complete Edition entails, it includes the Horizon Zero Dawn base game, as well as the recently released Frozen Wilds expansion, which is a sizable expansion. That expansion adds around 10 to 15 hours of content, and it's a fantastic piece of additional content for Horizon Zero Dawn. Horizon Zero Dawn itself is a great game, developed by Guerrilla Games, the studio that's known for Killzone. Horizon Zero Dawn is obviously a far different experience, but a great experience nonetheless, and what it retains from Guerrilla is the fact that they raised the technical bar for console visuals. Horizon Zero Dawn is a fabulous game to look at, but it's not just a tech demo. It's got a really interesting setting, and even being a post-apocalyptic game, it's very vibrant and lush in world design, and I can definitely appreciate that. Horizon Zero Dawn looks to be one of the prominent PlayStation franchise going forward, and you should definitely check out Zero Dawn the Complete Edition for $42. Still a little bit steep, but very much worth it. You can find it for that price at Amazon.
Track this evil to its source, and we can kill it.
A demon that frenzies the machines? How do you kill that?
It's kind of my specialty.
And finally, The Last Guardian for $20. The Last Guardian is a game that definitely disappointed some people. It was the latest game from Team Ico, who are the guys most famous for their work on Ico, as well as Shadow of the Colossus, two of the best PlayStation 2 games of all time, two of the best PlayStation games of all time in general, so they had a track record that was going to be very hard to live up to with The Last Guardian, and The Last Guardian was a game that was in development for a very long time, so the anticipation for the game was kind of high, but I think many gamers went in knowing that it wasn't going to be as good as Shadow of the Colossus, and it isn't as good as Shadow of the Colossus, but it's still a very interesting game. Thematically, Team Ico is still on point. Where the game does falter a little bit is on the gameplay side of things, but what you expect Team Ico to excel at, they still do that in a lot of areas with The Last Guardian. For $60, I could see why gamers were disappointed with The Last Guardian, but now that it's down to just $20, I think this is the perfect price to check out The Last Guardian for. It's available for that price on PSN. So that wraps up 10 great PlayStation 4 game deals available right now. Let us know if you're checking any of these out. Some great deals. Would highly recommend you to check out Persona 5 if you haven't. Yakuza 0 is fantastic. And that deal on Gravity Rush 2 is tremendous as well. Sound off in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching and goodbye.